You look beautiful, elegant as always. I only have time for one question, so I'm going to try and sneak two in. You've had a beautiful career. The pacing of your career has been absolutely wonderful. I want to ask you, what would you say to your younger self today, just in terms of some of the missteps you may have made, some of the opportunities to make some adjustments, some of the things you may have been anxious about in your 20s or 30s or any decade? What would you say to your 45-year-old self?
45-year-old self? Child, please.
I love it.
No, not 45-year-old self. No, she was fine.
She was fine.
She was fine. You got to go back.
Let's go to 30. Let's go to 30.
She was fine too. You got to go back.
Really? See how solid this lady is? Where does that come from? Because some women at 45 still don't have it together, and some women at 30 definitely don't have it together.
Really? Well, I'm a fortunate person. I'm very fortunate to have the parents that I have, to have grown up in the community that I grew up in. And I'm very fortunate to have great teachers. And I'm very fortunate to have grace.
You definitely have that. In this climate, we're talking about the divine feminine and women powering up. We're challenging and taking on different roles in the Hollywood system. This year, you're nominated for an Emmy for This Is Us. Like, that's powerful. Is there a character that you would still like to portray, even with the long career that you've had? I mean, in stage, in film, television, behind the camera, directing, producing. Like, what else is left in the patina for you?
I don't know. When I portrayed Medea, I thought, okay, Euripides' Medea. I thought, this is it. And then came August Wilson's Gem of the Ocean, Aunt Esther. I said, well, this is definitely it. But then came Terrell Alva McCraney's Head of Passes, Sheila Reynolds. And I said, well, I don't know what they could possibly be. But every time I say that, there's always more. There's always something else. I don't always know what it is. So I just have to stay ready.
Well, I know Sean Combs has spoken so well of you. He said you really helped, mold him.
He said that?
Yes, he did.
It's precious.
What would you want to say to him? I mean, he just lost the love of his life, Kim Porter, the mother of his children. What would you want to say to Sean Combs at this time?
Sean is one of the greatest people I ever met. He has a never say die kind of attitude. And it was amazing to watch him work in A Raisin in the Sun. The humility with which he approached the role and the production, the way he gave himself completely to it, just completely. I was taken with him. It was easy to love him. It's easy to love him.
Thank you so much for your time.
Say, you guys, twice in 2 weeks. Can you believe it? I'm with my queen mother right here. The beautiful Phylicia Rashad. You're nominated tonight for that wonderful guest appearance on, first of all, that scene in that movie, in the show. You guys are at the dinner table and your daughter is hurting. And that you give such amazing, you act without even saying anything. What was that like preparing for that scene? This Is Us.
I know what you're talking about. This is the work that we do as actors.
And that's the work that you do.
That's the work that we do. This is the work that we do as actors. It's what we do, It's just what we do.
You nailed it.
Thank you.
When you saw it on the paper, what resonated with you first, though?
Well, I thought that the writer was very good.
Yeah.
It starts with your script, right?
Yeah.
And so Ebony Freeman wrote a beautiful script.
An amazing writer.
She's an amazing writer, and she really was looking at the intricacies of that relationship, that mother-daughter relationship. how a parent works hard to give what they think is best and what is needed most. How a young person accepts or doesn't accept what a parent gives and feels sometimes, well, this is what I'm supposed to do because this is what I'm being told to do. And this question is often asked, how do you come to know yourself if you're always doing what someone else has told you to do?
That scene resonated with so many people. People were on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, because we've all had those moments. I know I've had those moments with my parents when they were like, you want to do what?
And it's because parents want the best,
Yeah.
but with always not understanding what's inside the child.
I think what resonated with audience the most is that your character actually apologized. That doesn't happen, Mrs. Rashad.
No,
Very rarely does
Really?
that happen.
very rarely.
Yeah, you know, so
Hmm.
I'm so grateful for your work. I'm so grateful for all that you do. And I'm hoping and praying that you get the Emmy tonight because it's so well deserved. Not just for the work that you've done recently, but just throughout your career. We are all rooting for you,
That
madam.
is very kind. Thank you so
Thank
very
you.
much.
Can I give you a hug?